All right, I think I'm gonna start a new trend where we're gonna be in a new location whenever I feel like doing that. So today, crouch down in the weedy field. This is my G-Shock. This is also my first watch that I ever purchased for myself, and this is what I consider my first watch. Let me go ahead and paint you a picture of the timeline of when I got this watch. The year is 2018. Caden is 18 years old, and I saw this on Amazon for $85, and I bought it because from what I knew about G-Shocks at the time is I heard that they were really robust and bashable and you couldn't really break them. I watched a YouTube video on it and I learned that this particular watch is solar powered, so it doesn't use a traditional battery and it will technically run forever. And it also has this thing called multiband 6. So every single night it updates with the satellite, so you have a perfectly accurate watch at all times. At the time, my daily wear was an Apple Watch Series 2, the gold color, and I had it on a custom made from Etsy Louis Vuitton strap. It was great, but I was about to be doing a thing in my life where I was not allowed to have an Apple Watch. And so I'm like, I'll just get a G-Shock, and it was cheap. And so I bought it. I wore that watch damn near basically every single day for about 3 years until it started having a really weird issue. So I still don't know entirely what happened, but I would go and pick up the watch in the morning, and when I was heading to work, I would look, and the time and the day and the date would all be completely wrong. I think it had something to do with the multiband 6, like it was connecting to a different time zone, but I didn't change the time zone. So I don't really know what happened. And so that started happening, and at the time when that started happening, I kind of didn't really care about watches. So I went and I bought an Apple Watch SE. I had a friend who was really crazy about closing all of their rings on like the Apple Fitness app, and so I just joined as part of that essentially. And I really wanted to use the walkie-talkie feature with one of my friends who also at the same time got an Apple Watch the same time as I did, so that we could do the walkie-talkie feature together. It's the same friend with now the Explorer. I pulled it out maybe a year or two ago, kind of when I started getting into watches again, and I just kind of reset the time zone back to the correct one, which for me is Denver, and it started working just fine. So to be honest, I have no idea what happened, but I thought that's kind of relevant to the story of my first watch. Fast forward to now. What do I use this watch for? I use it to set my other watches to when I'm setting the time. Sometimes if I have my phone, I'll just use my iPhone. I have a clock widget and I'll just use that to set the time. But most of the time I'll just use this watch because it's perfectly accurate to set the time of my other watches. And that's currently the role that this watch takes in my collection. It's literally just to set my other watches to. I don't really get much wrist time with it. It's a really good watch and I love it, and I have worn the hell out of this. This is probably my most worn watch that I own, but that's only because it was my first. Now let's get into the review portion of this video. Let's also go try some going. So this watch comes in with a case size of 43 millimeters. It is 12.7 millimeters thick, and the lug to lug is about 47 millimeters or so. It has 200 meters of water resistance. It is solar powered. It uses multiband 6, and it is everything you would ever need in a watch, encapsulated into a nice looking package in a good size. And this genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, is the only watch I think any human would ever need, and it is the best watch ever made in my opinion. There is not a single situation where this watch does not work in. You could argue that in really formal events, this watch wouldn't be appropriate, but I think if you were to wear a G-Shock with a badass tux, honestly, power to you, that is cool as hell. I haven't really done anything cool in this watch. I've just worn it a lot. It was when I was not really a watch person, my daily wear. So the functions of this watch: you have your standard time mode. You have a world time mode where you can track multiple, or I think multiple, maybe just one, but you can look at different time zones throughout the world and what time it is. For example, on my watch, it is 2:52 in Paris right now. You have an alarm with, I believe, maybe up to 5 different alarms, a stopwatch that you can use kind of like a chronograph, and then you have a timer, which I use for macaroni and cheese, which is why the timer is set for 7 minutes. And then you're back to your time setting. So this watch can do everything you would ever need a watch to do, plus more, for the astonishing price of what I got it for $85. On Casio's website, it retails now for $150. They do now have a new version. So this is the previous version. So they have different modules. The main difference that I know from the little research I've done, on the new one, it uses an LED backlight, Whereas on this one, it uses an EL backlight, which stands for like electro lit something. And I actually prefer the older style backlight because it's just like this cool greenish blue color. And so the new one is $150. You can find these on Amazon for, I think now they're like 90, in the realm of 90. And for $90, I will take this till the day that I die. It is the only and the best and the perfect and the best watch ever made. The only watch you'll ever need. And for me, this was my first watch. So this has that special place in my heart of being my first watch. And I do have a lot of memories attached to this watch, as this has been my most worn watch. It did have that one really weird issue with the syncing not working, and it would just randomly be a random time. But aside from that, this has been perfectly reliable. The battery is still on high. So for me right now, as I said, I kind of leave it in my watch box, and the battery will go to medium maybe once every 2 months. So I literally just go throw it on the front porch, let it sit in the sun for a day or two, and then I put it back, and then it lasts another 2 months until the battery bar drops down to medium. It's currently on high because it is fully charged. I just really like this watch, and it's special to me because it was my first. So that's why I wanted to make this video on it. But I think I'm gonna do more of these review type videos where I just talk about watches in various outdoor locations, because I do like the outdoors. Thank you for watching this video. If you stayed till the end, you are sick. I like you. Not like that. What am I saying? But thanks for watching. Peace out.